My fellow compassionate capitalists, Steve here with Titan Impact Group. Yes, in a pink shirt, but hey, look, I've got the little pony and a cool hat. So it's all Scottsdale approved. So I think we're going to be okay. Hey, I am going to be hemming and hawing a little bit today because there's so much history that I've wanted to talk about that it could take forever. But I know I'm not as nice of eye candy as Catherine is, who, you know, I can say this, it's not sexist or, you know, harassing or anything else like that. We are engaged. So, you know, she's off at the school picking up one of our kids. And she promised to stay out of the house until I was done videoing so there wouldn't be any disturbances. She also turned the air conditioners off so there wouldn't be any noise in the background. So I hope you can appreciate the production that is going into this, even though it really looks amateurish. So each piece and stuff that I'm going to go through as we kind of wrap up this week, I will give its own little special video all by itself and really get into the heart of it. Knowing me, I'll probably get emotional about it just because history means so much to me and the lessons that we can learn from history. But I know that, you're not here necessarily for that, but you are here to understand what has gone on in the past and how we can capitalize on it in the present and in the future. So this week, if you've been following us on any of our platforms, the articles that have been written and such that we've shared, and the videos that we've made, you'll understand that this week has kind of been a celebration, if you will. This week has been celebrating titans of industry. We talked about how there was this past year, 2020, more billionaires. The previous record almost doubled that. There was 250 below. We almost hit 500. New billionaires made this last year during COVID. You know, we celebrate how 8 men on planet Earth have a net worth of more than $100 billion, and that those 8 men are in control of almost $1.3 trillion. We've gone through about how you know, the airlines are not listening to the CDC that claim that they need to you know, keep that middle seat empty, which has been great because you can fly coach and still feel like you're in first class. You know, you've got an extra 4 inches of elbow room, you know, without that middle seat there. But the airlines aren't listening to that. They are putting the mask on, making us put masks on, but they are having profitable months. So the economy's coming back. And, you know, one of the things that is important is that we understand that when it comes to economics always wins, okay? There has been a war on capitalism. There has been a war on entrepreneurship. Things have not gone the way that a lot of people would like to see it. And, you know, but we're going to go ahead and we're going to celebrate these victories that we've had. We've also had some very historical things go on this month. This past week, not the least of which, while everybody was celebrating, the newspapers writing up about Robert E. Lee's surrender to General Grant at Appomattox courthouse. Again, there's the newspaper right there on Friday, April 14th, 1865. I'm going to get into how important of a date that is here pretty quick. But you got to remember that Robert E. Lee, the greatest general in military history, hands down, that even after his defeat, whenever he would walk into a room, it didn't matter if you were for the South or for the North. When Robert E. Lee walked into the room, everyone stood. That's how well respected and loved he was. They knew that they were in the presence of a giant. And another giant who, unfortunately, less than a week after the surrender of Robert E. Lee, went to go watch a play, and around 10:30 that night, John Wilkes Booth snuffed out the life of our President Abraham Lincoln. Now here, again, these are some of the artifacts that we're going to eventually later on, I'll go through each individual one, but just we have a Ford's Theater playbill right here. It's a souvenir playbill made the day after the assassination. We have a Ford Theater ticket that was actually used the night of Lincoln's assassination. And of course, we have the famous lock of hair from Abraham Lincoln taken by Dr. Lille the night of the assassination. And again, everything has all of its provenance and everything. I know it seems like I am really professional. However, one of my sticky notes just fell down, so I will stick that back up there. Don't mind the, the amateur hour that's going on here. Some of the other events that happened is actually today, April 14th, 1912, the Titanic, a ship that was a tribute to man's engineering and thirst to build something bigger and better, to do the impossible, of course, hit the iceberg. And what a tremendous tragedy that was, because it was completely unnecessary. You see, one of the things that history doesn't really talk about is that the Californian was less than 20 miles away from the Titanic when it sent out its SOS signals. The flares were seen by the watchman on the Californian. However, when asking the captain should they go there, the captain said, "Have you heard anything from the radio room?" And the watchman said no. And what happened was that the radio man, knowing that it was just going to be another boring night in North Atlantic, took off his headphones and went to sleep and missed the SOS signals from the Titanic. So one of the things that's cool that we have here, we're getting it made up. I've got a bunch of little Titanic exhibits and stuff right here. But this is from Millvina Dean. She was I don't know if you can see her little signature right there. But anyway, she was the last remaining survivor on the Titanic. She was 6 months old when it went down. It's kind of cool. Leonardo DiCaprio, they went and they had a little fundraiser for her. She was getting in some ill health. Anyways, they had a fundraiser for her, and so that's how they got these. She had her sign the pictures and ended up selling those to help her out. What does all this have to do with anything? What is the common thread? The common thread is that war, all of these things have to do with war being waged on progress and on capitalism. You see, we went through the whole thing about the Civil War being economic issues. We see, and whether it be war from the top, or whether it just be the incompetence of the boots on the ground level type of employees, if you will. Entrepreneurs and titans of industry have to forever be diligent. And that's what that's the call for today. You see, you remember how our fathers and our grandfathers, okay, the pictures of them, they were always like in their military uniform. They were always proud to let it be known that they weren't afraid to go and to fight for their beliefs. What are the pictures of the next generation or two going to be, of their grandparents or them? I mean, is it going to be through, puppy dog faces and whiskers through the Snapchat, app? I mean, you see, there's a difference that people who have beliefs and who are willing to go to war for those beliefs, defend those beliefs, and give their life for their beliefs, such as Lincoln did. These are the people, these truly are the titans of industry. These are the inspirations. Those who will not stand for anything, fall for everything. You understand what I'm saying? That I'm calling upon the entrepreneurs, the investors, the titans of industry to stand up, to, quite frankly, put the spine back in America. We have a couple of generations that are completely trying to erase history right now under the guise of it's not politically correct. They want to forget the past. They have no idea what the hell they're doing in the present. And then they wonder why they're so scared of the future. We don't need people running and trying to find a safe space. We don't need people trying to run from confrontation. and not know how to solve problems. We need to set the example now. We need to let people know that even though government and scared people in the world have given the best shot to destroy the economy, that in the end, money always wins. The economy always wins. And that is why it's so important to be a compassionate capitalist, not so that we can take money and lord it over those who have had some difficulties, but that we can provide for ourselves, get profit, take that profit, and if we so choose, so desire, help others who are not as fortunate as we are and create economic opportunity for them so that they can take over our place someday. We're not going to last forever, and there is no honor in being the richest man in the graveyard. So I know this video went a little long. It's because I got so excited about history, but we celebrate you this week. All entrepreneurs, everyone who has worked hard, who has knows what the American dream is, who goes out there and is not afraid and will stand up for their beliefs. I am Steve Wall. I do know money. I hope that you will join us and stand up for entrepreneurship, to stand up for free enterprise, to stand up and declare once and for all that we will never awake from the American dream.